Hello everyone. In this video, let us talk about screen. I thought I'll probably take a break from Emacs and org mode, and I will share something that I have been using for I don't know how many years. I guess since the beginning of me using Linux. So in Linux, there is a very nice utility called screen, and if you're learning Linux, if you're trying to do something on Linux server, then I highly recommend you to take a look at this particular command, this particular utility, which you need to most likely install on your server. You might not get it by default. So let me give you a very quick 5-minute crash course on screen. Now I will let you install it on the server, and based on your distribution, you can I'm sure you will find it in Ubuntu, CentOS, Arch Linux, whatever Linux you are using. And this particular utility is especially useful when you are managing servers. And let me explain by giving you a very simple example. Now this particular screen utility is something that, as I mentioned before, I have been using it for many years. In fact, around 7 years ago, I wrote this blog on my company website, how to use the screen command with multiple windows. Basically, around that time, around 2015, I was heavily using Vagrant. I'm not really sure if you ever worked on Vagrant or not, but I was using it, and I was mainly using Vagrant for Drupal development, because I wanted to have an environment with always the same set of configurations across different machines. So the example that I want to give you today is not Drupal development, but I want to give you this example of doing something on the server, and that something could be running a command, or maybe you want to run FFmpeg, for example, because I use FFmpeg quite a lot. And recently I thought I'll probably use one server where I will keep FFmpeg command running for live streaming. And for doing that, of course, you can always use FFmpeg, and you can actually do it on your computer. But if you are running something on the server, and the moment you log out, the command might not continue. It will definitely, and I think you can always detach it if you want, but using screen command is actually very convenient. So this is the server where I'm logged in, and I'll probably make sure I'm visible so you can see my face while I'm talking. So this is the manual of the screen command. We don't have time for the manual. So crash course on screen. So you can start your session by typing in this command called screen, and you can of course run it, but I recommend you to run screen command with this hyphen capital S. And maybe you want to run a command where maybe you want a session where you want to run something, let us say a terminal, right, or whatever. Let us say a specific application. So maybe we'll call it as Emacs, right? So this is, of course, now we are inside a session, and you can always detach yourself from this particular session by pressing Control A. So Control A is the command, like the prefix command that you want to always use. You can change it, because I use Emacs, and if you're also using Emacs, you have the possibility to change your Control A to something else, maybe Control L. You can actually put it in your script if you want, but we'll not do it today. We'll simply keep on focusing on the basics. So you can always press Control A and then do something else. So after pressing Control A, if you press double quotes, you can see that it will show you this particular session which is running. You can click on this, or basically not click, but select it and press enter. You can also start new session or a new window by pressing Ctrl A and C. Now you are within this separate session, And if you press Control A and double quotes again, you can then switch between them. So this is really wonderful. And let me go back to 0, where I can maybe run top command, and I can then press Control A and then do double quotes. I can then go back to the second session. So this is of course one way of doing it. You can also split your screen if you want. So you can press Control A and pipe, and it will basically split the screen for you. And if you want to go to the next screen, you can press Control A and tab, and now you can see the cursor here. And you can again press Control A, double quotes, and you can maybe go back to the previous one. So now you have the top command that you were running. And while this is running, you can keep on shuffling. So if you want, you can press Control A and tab, and maybe you want to open Emacs. So you can work on the Emacs while you are monitoring your top command. I mean, this looks good, right? And by the way, this is something that, we guys do. People who work on, I don't really call myself as a system admin, but I think I don't mind doing it if I have to, because you can. I know how to work on computers, I know how to work on Linux, and managing servers is not really rocket science. So I guess I am in a way like a part-time system admin for Linux servers. And if you have to if you have to manage servers, then you can always use a screen command to do it. So let us do a couple of more things. So this is of course fine. What if you want to log off from the server and you want to you want to ensure that your commands are still running? Maybe you want to run a script. Maybe you are running ffmpeg command for live streaming and you want to keep it running. So you can always press Control A, Control D, and now you're basically back to your you're basically outside your in a way, this is called as detaching yourself from those screen sessions. Now if you press or if you type in this command screen -ls or list, you can see that we have this running, this screen. We have this session where this is right now detached. You can actually have more than one. For example, maybe you can do screen -s, and maybe you want to run one more where, basically using this -s, you can actually give your session a name. So maybe you want to name it as some session, and now you are in a different session where you can do whatever you want. Maybe what shall we do? I'm short of ideas. Maybe let us just do maybe come on, give me some ideas. Do we have a stop here? Yes, we have a stop here. So this is again just another session, and if you press Control A and again double quotes, you're back to your list of different windows. And if you press Control A, Control D, you're again back to the original terminal. And by the way, your all those sessions are still running, your commands are still running. You can then press screen -ls. Now we have two screens, and they're both detached. If you want to maybe go back to your Emacs, you can do something like this. Maybe you want to type in here screen -r, and you can then just type in the screen name, and you're now back to Emacs, right? And if you press Control A and double quotes, you can see this top command running, which is we left it, right? And this is of course wonderful. And if you ever want to go back to the original terminal, just press Control A, Control D, and you're back. And what else? Oh, let me log off from the server, because why not? So let us do exit, right? And now I'm back to my local machine, and I can again go back to the server, and I can take a look at my running screen sessions. Both of them are detached. Let us go back to the Emacs. Emacs is running, Control A, double quotes, and this is our I guess, what is this? I forgot. Yeah, this was our Emacs and top command. And if I go back to the original, if I detach myself from this, and maybe I'll go to some session, we have the top running here. So this is wonderful, right? I mean, imagine doing all these things on a server, and you can keep your commands running, and this is how people do it, right? This is a standard way of looking at your sessions, your different long running commands. Maybe you want to run a command and you want to, maybe you know that this will keep on running for a long time. It could be a command or it could be some script that you're running, and you want to of course log off from the server without killing that particular script or whatever you're running. You can do that. And this looks really good, right? I think I should have shown you this long back. But anyways, today I thought I'll probably take a break from Emacs, org mode, Drupal, and I'll show you something, which is purely Linux system admin. And by the way, Screen, people say that Screen is a bit old. There is something called as tmux, which you can use. And honestly, I think tmux is probably better because it is new. I guess it is a new utility, but Screen has always been there, and for me, for my needs, for my use cases, Screen command is something that I'm quite happy with. I'm not really a heavy user of these things, but of course, whenever I have to log into the server and I have to do something, for example, I work on servers where I maintain Jira. I guess you know Jira, right? If you are doing something in IT, I guess you know Jira, or you were made to work on Jira. So I basically maintain Jira applications, Jira instances, and I have to upgrade them. And if I'm maintaining my own servers where I have to do something on Linux, I use Screen command. I'm used to it, and I remember all the shortcuts, and I have my own personal key bindings. That is what I do always. I think we all do it, but I try not to. tmux is great. Tmux I know is probably better in terms of features, but I am not really willing to give up all those features and different things that I've learned in the last 23 years of learning Linux. Maybe I will switch to tmux. I did try it briefly, but I thought that I'm happy with Screen. I don't really want to spend too much time learning something new, because I will spend time to learn something new if I know that there is a lot that I will gain. But from learning tmux, for my simple use case, Screen was always perfect. So that is not the point. I'm not really doing a tmux versus Screen. I just want to share that try to use a Screen command. It will or maybe tmux command. It will make you a better system admin. And that is all I wanted to talk about and share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.